welcome to Woman Crush Every Day, where we discuss queer media, especially when it's black and especially when it's woman. I'm your host, Allison, aka Al Wu.
And I'm your host, Tang B, aka Sean B. Scribe.
And today we are going to be talking about the L Word Generation Q Season 3, Episode 3. But before we get into that,
make sure you subscribe.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you get all this content and you know when it drops. Mm-hmm. So make sure you subscribe, let your friends know about it, and let us know what you think about the episodes.
Yep.
Also, if you happen to be traveling or you're in the Detroit area, make sure that you check out a good place to stay. So a bed and breakfast or a bud and breakfast. You might be traveling with a nice group of friends where there's a mix of people who maybe want to partake in cannabis, maybe don't. And this is a great place to stay. Let me just read to y'all a little bit about their business. Copper House Detroit says they are a home away from home. They are a black and queer owned business, and their mission is rooted in activism and equity. So check them out, and you can also get a 10% discount off your stay when you use our promo code WCE. Check out the link in the description.
Yep. And that's the intro. We're going to go ahead and get into it. And like we always do, we have our questions. Mm-hmm. And this is always a full-blown spoiler. So if you haven't watched the episode, do that first.
Get to it.
Then come back and we can talk about it. Or, I mean, you can do whatever you want to do. If you like spoilers or whatever, doesn't matter. First question. What was your favorite part of this episode?
My favorite part of this episode was definitely Danny throwing those oranges at Gigi and Nat, because I don't condone, behavior that's violent in relationships, but technically they were out of a relationship at that point because she said I'm done.
True.
But I'm not for that, but then I'm also not for what Gigi and Nat did, which is like, why are you sitting in the parking lot just continue, like, this is her event, she is like helping to put this on to move things along, like, why are you doing that? So her like pelting those oranges, it was at least a fun moment. Danny's been through a lot. She's been through a lot. If throwing
she
oranges
really has.
Is all she got, like, come on, I'll let her have it.
No, totally. I feel so bad for Danny. After the way this was breaking down, I'm like, she just keeps getting these L's, big fat L's. Yeah. And I'm actually starting to feel bad for her. And I don't really care about Danny that much. But this does make me care. And this is like, damn.
Yeah. I
feel like Finley and Danny kind of fail like similarly, like they just, whatever is happening to them is just, the relationships are terrible.
Yeah. All right, well, what was your favorite moment?
I think my favorite moment was the quiz show. I think the game show was pretty fun and funny. I think who was the lady's name? Was Taylor?
Yeah, Taylor.
So Alice in this episode meets this woman who's working a coffee stand on the set of Alice, and they have some little funny banter.
Yeah.
Shenanigans happen. Taylor ends up being the third contestant on this quiz show where Alice is trying to find somebody to date. This is like the 100th episode, and she's trying to find love, and so boom, Taylor ends up as the third contestant and is just continuing to be her little quirky self all through it, and not really sweating Alice in a way that everybody else around Alice does. And I think that was just fun and funny, and I like Taylor, and I kind of want to see where it goes.
I do want Taylor and Alice to date. Like,
I don't know that I want them to date, but I think I just liked her personality.
I liked her personality. I think Alice finds her funny and super intriguing, and I like that Taylor is like very hesitant, because I feel like that slows Alice down a little bit. So let's see where it goes.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, who was your woman crush?
I'm just gonna go ahead and continue with Kehlani in this. You know what? Her name is Ivy in this, so I'm gonna stop calling her Kehlani. My bad. But I'm actually gonna give it to Finley.
Oh.
I know, the scandal of it all.
Oh,
I'm going to give it to Finley for this episode because she's really trying to better herself. Yeah. She went and filled out that college application. She went and encouraged Carrie to ask Misty out on this date.
Yeah.
I mean, she's just really she's in her go get it mode right now.
She is.
And I love that. I love that for Finley. So I'm gonna go ahead and give Finley my woman crush this week.
Aww.
How about you?
Well, first I have to say just about Finley that, man, she must have had that college application like up, everything filled in, ready to go, because that was the fastest send-in
right?
I've ever seen. Like, she said it was saved on her desktop, so I was just like, And I was like, maybe you like saved it like as an HTML page, like, what's happening here, because you sent that in so fast.
Yeah, that was definitely skeptical. You know what else was skeptical about this episode, which I thought was funny, and it's just like, fuck it, we don't need to get into the particulars really, but the demo scene with Shane and Finley, where they were like just tearing down this dry hole wall in the middle of this.
Oh my god!
First off, why is there a dry hole wall in the middle of the room? Like, obviously somebody put it there for a reason. Like, but it doesn't matter. You know what? That's reading too deep.
They should have read deeper. At first I thought like they're putting this here so that, you know, they can do this like lesbian fantasy of these like studly women, you know, like
studly.
They don't get to be studly. These butch women just, you know, hacking away and trying to do their genuine body rolls, which was mids. But
yo, I thought about that when I first started seeing that happen. I thought that was gonna be my favorite scene. But then I'm just like, I need y'all to just stop. This might be the one for somebody, but
I'm sure it was the one for a lot of people out here.
And you know, and right, I'm not trying to yuck nobody's yum. You know what I mean? Like, hey,
have it, please.
But I'm like, is that how I want to think of Genuine Pony?
Not for me.
IDK. So there's that part.
I've definitely seen better body rolls from folk to that song in particular, so I'm just hold on to those memories.
Yeah.
And whoever needed that,
yeah,
I hope you got what you needed.
Yeah. Somebody needed that butch on butch action, and then the water spraying. I'm like, y'all are what are in the herbal essences commercial is this, bro? Like, what? Y'all are funny.
But then for y'all to actually like cause more destruction to the building, I was just like, what are you doing? Like, why were you there?
Why did this happen?
Why? Okay. Well, I'm glad for Finley. It seems like Danny had some like forgiveness for Finley to this episode, so yay. My woman crush is, I mean, sort of Ivy, just because it's nice to have another character there. Kaylani's great. But I still have a crush on the idea of Dre, and I want to know who Dre is.
Okay, that's real.
That's where my crush is.
That's real.
Yeah. Who is Dre? Show us Dre. I need to know. All right. So what can stay? Real. What can go?
What can stay? What's happening with Taylor? I don't even think that more love scenes between Shane and Ivy need to be present. And y'all know, usually I'm the person who's like, yeah, to the sex scenes. But like, I don't know. It kind of felt like, I don't know. I have too many emotions around what was happening in that moment. So,
what emotions?
I mean, just like, why is this happening? You know, like, why is Shane back in this loop?
Yeah.
Why is... I really didn't think that Ivy was going to be around this many episodes. I just like, oh, okay, we got the celebrity appearance, whatever. But no, like, she's really in the cast this season. Like, it's 3 for 3 right now.
And I'm impressed. They didn't like just like bait us and switch,
yeah. So I'm like, oh, okay. So there's a piece of me that wants to be like, yes, this can stay, but then I also feel like this isn't really going to stay. So don't get too connected to this. And do I even want this to happen? Like, why is this happening? Shane, is it because Tess said, why are you fucking up the room? Like, is this why this happened? It just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. So that can go.
Goodbye.
That can go. Yo, you know what can stay? Danny and Sophie. You know, I kind of brought it up earlier how I feel like Danny and Sophie, to me, feel like they're supposed to be the Bet and Tina of L Word Gen Q.
Yeah.
And now with Bet and Tina in Toronto, like, is this opportunity for Danny and Sophie to come back together and really be this Gen Q power couple?
Yeah.
Is that what we're kind of setting up? I don't know. And my predictions be wrong as hell, so don't listen to me, really, but that's where I am.
I think they definitely set it up that way. You know, in season 1, that Danny and Sophie were the couple that we were really following. Yeah. They were solid. Everybody else had, like, really moving pieces. Mm-hmm. So, we'll see. I mean, I think they're definitely trying to repair their friendship and bring that back into focus.
Yeah.
Who knows what that may cause. Maybe it'll bring Sophie closer to Finley. Maybe it will, I don't know. Who knows? Mm-hmm. For me, yeah, what can go? I'm over Shane doing the Shane thing. I'm just like, for what? Like,
right.
Why?
Yeah.
Why are we here again?
And
no. Well, like, okay, because the whole group has been on this thing, like the original generation has been on this thing of we are growing,
right?
We are moving, we are growing up, we are not doing people wrong, we are being honest about our needs, and now Shane is just like going down this weird path of like, why?
Yeah.
So, over that, what else can go? I think Finley feeding rats has to go.
Oh,
so
gosh,
I'm glad
right?
that she says she's done with that.
That was gross.
Not okay.
That was like, and like, why are you feeding the rats in the building you working at?
Yeah.
See, Finley. All right.
Yeah.
Don't let me. Now I'm gonna go back. See, you gonna have me taking all my compliments back.
Yeah. What
Woman
also
crush minus feeding rats.
Minus feeding, like, that's dead. Ew.
Stop doing that. And I love rats. I mean, hold on. I don't love rats. I'm saying, like, I'm sorry. I'm just saying, like, for anybody who's like an animal lover in this, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying like fuck rats, but I am saying fuck rats, man.
Like,
why are you feeding these rats?
Not in my space.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. You know, you can do what
space.
you got to do, but I'm not feeding you when you living in my establishment.
No.
There we go.
So Finley was doing.
I'm sorry to do
she's
all
going
that.
to college
My
now,
fault.
so it's okay. Finley's gonna go to college. She's feeding
gonna
rats.
Learn to stop feeding the rats.
Yes.
At your workplace.
Yes. Gigi can really like stop because I just think that's so unfair, like the jerking of people.
Totally.
And you know, to be fair, I've grown. I've been in the place where I'm giving people like this, and then I want that, but then I want this, but then I want that. That's not cool though, and I just feel like Gigi to say like, oh, I need, you know, my ex-wife and the other mother of my children's approval before we move in together, to make this grand gesture and be like, that's the mature thing to do, and I'm trying to be a good co-parent, but then for it to like turn into this, and maybe I'm trying to get back with my ex-wife and I'm not gonna tell you, but I'm gonna do all of this in front of you, like that's just rude.
Yeah, that was not cool.
No.
Nat and Gigi this whole episode were like, damn, for real?
Like right in her face.
Yeah, that was dirty. You ain't had to be
like
that.
Okay, if you are gonna have feelings for your ex, tell your partner.
And I mean,
she did
in
but
this episode.
You need to tell your partner before you hold her hand.
Yeah.
You know, share a wine bottle through a straw with her. Have her dress you and then bring you there like as your escort, almost like
savage.
And then say you're gonna leave with her.
Yeah. What is Nat's role in this though? Is Nat?
Oh, Nat is grimy.
Nat is bold. Nat is okay.
Because Nat immediately came up in the ambulance, gonna call Danny to come there, and then sneak a kiss before Danny arrives. Like, Nat is also grimy. So y'all belong together, clearly. Ew.
Damn, the scandal.
Also, we can go. I don't like this thing with Angie and her professor.
Right.
We've seen it before. I've seen it on many shows. It can go. I don't like it. It's icky. And I want Angie to be living her best whole life. So can y'all bring that on, like, with, like, other people that are, like, maybe, like, freshmen and sophomores in college and not, like, professors?
I mean, he's, like, a grad student, right?
I mean, but
he's
still.
not a he's a professor. He's teaching this class, but he's not a professor.
I'm not mad that they kissed, but
and this is not to
wherever
say,
this storyline is going, I don't know.
I just want to clarify that he's technically not. I think he's a grad student. I got very much like he's a lecturer or like a teaching assistant. Right?
I don't like it.
Well, no, he did say sign up for my class.
Yeah.
All right. It's getting eerie. Yeah. Okay, never mind.
Yeah. It's a little yucky.
All right.
Stop. No.
Mm-hmm.
She's a freshman, y'all.
She is. It's her first week.
Yeah. So we'll see. We'll see where that goes. What can stay for me is everything that happened last episode. I want to see more of what's going on with Bet and Tina.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what's happening on with Maribel and this whole relationship and baby stuff.
Right.
Like, bring that back. I want to know. And I mean, yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. All right.
Where is this in queer canon for you?
You know, I don't know where it is in queer canon for me. Maybe I have a whole bunch of thoughts on it, but I guess some loose thoughts that I can't quite place anywhere right now. I think about the butch romance between Shane and Finley.
Yeah.
And, you know, that vibe. I don't know what that means, but I feel like we don't really see that a lot.
Yeah.
Across ethnicities, like just having fun in that way and kind of getting hot or whatever that is. Yeah, you know, so that's cool. And I wanted to bring up the web. Yes. In this episode, Alice got like the OG L Word web.
The chart.
Yeah. Put up on like an artwork on the wall. And I just feel like that for queer canon is, you know, it seems like classic iconography of lesbianism in media. Yeah. You know, and I think a lot of lesbians know that web, whether or not they know of this show or whatever, like, the people that you've slept with and the people that they've slept with and how some sort of way you can build this like
connection to everybody.
Yeah, very much. So I don't know. I just thought that was cool. I don't know if that's going to come back later on in the season or if they just did that for this, I don't know, burn 10 seconds. I feel like
that was like the spark of Shane. Like, I could be old Shane. I could fuck everybody again like I used to do. Like, I feel like Shane saw that and got transported back into her old
to the old hoe days.
Yes.
That's a good point.
Okay. Which, come on, Shane. I mean, you consistently have hoe days. So, like, there's no old hoe days. You only been in this relationship for so long. Then you was just in a relationship right before that.
That's
so,
true.
Like, okay.
That's true. I need Kiana to come back.
Yeah, come on.
All right, let me stop playing. Do you about to go into queer canon?
Yeah. Queer canon. You know, I think for me, it is... I really like Rosie O'Donnell's character on here. I like Carrie. And I like that Carrie has met Misty in that little, like, hijinks moment. I think just seeing, like, seeing characters, seeing people who have played characters over time, that read queer or that are queer, who have been a part of like queer history over time. I think it is that way with the character of Bette Porter. Like, having that character come back means something. Having Rosie O'Donnell show up in these various queer characters means something. You know, Before Ellen Was Mean meant something. Like, so, like, I think that is where it is queer canon for me. I think the episode itself is kind of an episode that's in place to sort of move things along. It very much feels like, okay, this is like, we're just trying to drive, get to the next scene, so that we can figure out like what the big kind of blow up is gonna be, or how the new relationships are gonna like not quite fit. So I'm ready to see what happens next episode.
Totally. I totally agree with that, and I guess we'll just have to wait until Friday to see the next episode.
All right, y'all.
Yeah.
Till next time. Peace.
Peace.